This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so let's start. So, am I audible? Anyone can acknowledge?
Yes, you are audible. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, let's start with our application. Okay, okay. So, what we will do, we will create a new repository over here. Okay, so I'm going to provide you with the file. You just have to install the application on your system, and then you have to create a new repository. Okay, so for creating a new repository, what you have to do, you have to click on this button, create new. And if you already have a repository, so that will be reflected over here. So you can click on this one and open the repository, or else if you want to go to the specific path, so you have to click on this open button. Okay, so now we have to create a new repository. So I will click on this one. So once I click on this one, if you are a single user, you want to do the hands-on and all in your application, so what you can do, you can create a single user environment. Okay, and if you are a multiple users, so you want to work in a group. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to select the SQLite or Oracle or another database. Okay, so I will go with the SQLite, and I will going to name my repository over here. So I will name it as uh, April batch. I will name it as a camel case. Okay, and I will going to click on this use workspace template. So what it will do, it will going to give me the standard TSU file. So which includes all the modules, standard modules, whichever provided by the Tricentis will get added to my repository. Okay, if you are not selecting this one, so the standard modules won't get included in your framework. So make sure that you check this box so that your standard modules are getting added over here. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to click on OK, and it will take some time to generate the repository. Okay, so once your repository gets created, automatically it will going to get open over here. So you don't have to enter any credential. By default it will be admin, the username and the password will be blank. Okay, if you are entering any value, so it will going to throw an error. So just click on login. Okay, so once you log into the application, what you have to do, you have to take a update all. So I'm going to explain you what is update all. Okay, like you are working in an organization and you are working on a different shift. Okay, so your colleague is working on a night shift and you are working on a general shift. So your colleague will do the changes and he leaves the organization. So what you have to do, so take his or her changes in your repository. Okay, to synchronize that, what you have to do, you have to take a update all before starting your work. Okay, so it is a kind of pull. if you are working with Git, so it is same related to the taking a pull. Okay, any questions on this one? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, Amir, have one doubt. After installing the Tosca, the first step we have to create repository, right?
Yes,
Okay.
so it is kind of workspace.
Okay.
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 One doubt here. So
Yeah.
once we click update all, so
Hmm.
only merge changes will get reflected, or like how we can ensure these
Whatever
changes?
changes they have done, the other people have done in their repository, it will get reflected in your repository.
Okay, that can be completed or incomplete, anything.
Yes.
Okay, okay. But
If
okay,
if you have done some part of your work and you commit that changes, so if you are committing that changes to the repository, that will it will going to reflect in your repository if it is working or not working, irrespective of that. If someone is committing that changes in your in the repository and you are taking a pull, so it will definitely going to get the update from the repository. Okay, are you getting it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But can we see this how happens on
So
real
just you
time?
have to click update all and automatically you will be able to see over here. Update all finish.
Okay, okay, okay,
Okay.
fine.
Okay. Now we will going to see the check in all and check out. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, so I have to work on this folder. Okay, let me create another folder. I want to work on this folder. Okay, so I want the exclusive rights to acquire this folder. Okay, other people won't use that. If you are making a changes and other people are also making the same changes, so it will going to create a conflict. Okay, so if I am working on this folder, so I want the exclusive rights of the folder. So what I have to do, I have to do a right click and I have to click on a checkout. Okay, so once I click on checkout, automatically the green icon will going to appear over here. So only I can make now changes to this folder. If other people will going to see this folder or other my colleague will going to see this folder, so it will appear in a green in a red color for them. Okay, so from this only they will get to know that okay, so it is checked out by someone else, so you can't do any changes. Okay, so if they want to use this folder, so they have to tell that person, okay, please do check in all so that I or other people can use the folder. So just want to check that okay, who has checked out this folder. So I have to go to this show checkout detail. So it is checked out by admin and at what time and the version details. Okay, so you can do that. Now what I have to do, I have to create a folder. I will do a right click and create a folder over here, and I will name it as field batch. Okay. Now my work is done. I have created a folder. So what I will do, I will do a check in all. As you can see, so I will click on the check in all, and it will remove my access from that folder. Okay. So you don't have to check out the parent folder because other people will are going to also work. So don't check out the parent folder. Okay. Now my folder is getting created under this one. Now I can check out this folder because I am having exclusive right of this folder and I can do whatever I feel like. Okay. Other people want to do their work, so they can check out this folder and they can create their own folder and they can proceed. Okay. Any questions on checkout and check-in up till now? Okay. So now I have to work on this folder. So what I will do, I can't make any changes. I can't create a folder or I won't be able to perform any action. Okay. So I have to do the checkout so that I can edit this value. Okay. So I will do a checkout as you can see. Yeah. So now I got the exclusive right. If I do a right click, now all the values are get added over here. Now I can do the edit over here. Okay. So now what I will going to do, I will create my first test case over here under this April batch. So I will do a right click and click on this icon, create test case. Okay. So I will click on this one and name it as open browser. This is my first test case. Now what I have to do, I have to open my browser. So for that I have to add the modules over here under this one. Okay, this is the test case structure. So under this one all the modules will get formed. Okay, so what I will do, I will go to the modules and look for the standard modules, uh, HTML. Okay, I have to open the URL. So once you open the URL, then only you will be able to perform certain action. Okay, so we have a standard modules of opening a URL and closing a browser. So I will going to open my browser. Just you have to drag and drop in your test case. This is my test case. So I'm going to drop it over here. It get added. Now what I have to do? Okay, let me get some sample file. So I will going to use, okay, I'm going to use this sample file. So I will add my URL over here. That's it. Okay. Now I have to check that okay, I have added a module over here. It is working or not. Okay, it is able to open my browser or not. So what I will do, I will do a right click and click on run in Scratchbook. Okay. The same way you have to do the addition and then you can check the individual modules. Okay, it is working fine or not. So I will go with run in Scratchbook and let's see if it is able to open my browser or not. So right now we have not added any configuration to invoke the browser specific browser. So whatever the default browser will be there, it will get open. Okay. So my default browser is Firefox and it is getting opened over here. As you can see, so that URL gets open. So again I will go back to my test case and it is getting processed and now you will be able to see okay this module run successfully over here. Okay, so I'm going to tab this one. I will do a right click and dock to tab document, so it will going to get tabbed over here and I'm going to remove the unnecessary tabs which is not required right now. Okay, so we are going to play with all these 6 tabs. If you by mistake if you remove the tabs from here, so what you can do, you can go to the projects and you can add whatever tabs you want to add. Okay, if I remove the scratch book or if I remove the execution list, okay, so what I can do, I can go to this one and do a I will directly going to open this one and I'm going to tab this folder, tab this document. Okay, the same way. Okay, so now what the condition is, I don't want to execute my test case in Firefox. Okay, it is by default getting open in a Firefox. I want to go for some specific browser. Okay, so for that what you have to do, you have to go to your test case. This is your test case section. Once you click on test case, your test configuration will get enabled over here. As you can see, this is your test configuration. So I have to click on this one and I'm going to do a right click and click on the test configuration parameter, this blue icon, and now I will type browser, so automatically browser get added. So these are the different parameter you can add. So going forward we will see how to use all these parameter. Okay, now my browser configuration is added and once I click on this one, so these are the browser which is supported by the Tosca. Okay, so I will go with Edge instead of Firefox. Okay, my configuration is added over here. Now what I have to do, I have to go again back to my open URL and do a right click. You can execute this step single step, or if you want to execute the whole test case, you can execute this one as well. Okay, both are applicable to run. So I will click on again run in Scratchbook and let's see if it is able to invoke the browser Edge browser or not. Okay, so it is successfully able to launch the browser using Edge. Okay, now I have to perform certain action over here. Okay, like I have to select insurance for motorcycle and then I have to enter all these details. Okay, so these things won't be provided by Tricentis Tosca. The only standard modules will be provided by Tricentis Tosca. Okay, so we will going to scan this module. I'm going to show you how to scan the module so that you can select the value, perform click operation, enter the values. Okay, so let's go back to our application. Any questions up till now? You are not getting anything, you won't be able to concentrate, or something is missed, please ask me. Are you okay with how to create a test case and add a module over here? So this is called as a module, and once you drag and drop it over here, that is called as a test step. Okay, now my one test case get executed, test step is getting executed. Now what I have to do, I have to add a module so that I can perform the actions in this page. Okay, so now I'm going to create my modules. So what I have to do, I have to go to again module section and I won't make any changes in the standard module. So for that I will going to create my own folder. Okay, so for creating a folder I won't get any option over here. As you can see, no options is provided over here. So for creating a folder, what I have to do? So for creating a folder, again I have to do a checkout. So once I get the permission, then only I will be able to create my own folder. So now if I do a right click and click on create folder, and I will name it as a April batch. Okay. Now once I'm done with the creation of the folder, I have to do a check-in all so that other people wants to create the subfolder over here, they can use this one. Okay, so I will do a check-in all, and again I will going to check out this folder. Okay, now what I will going to do, I will going to do a right click and click on scan over here and click on the application. Okay, my application, so it will going to scan all the application which are open, okay, on your desktop. So you have to select the application whichever you want to scan. Now I want to scan this one, enter vehicle data, and I will click on scan button. Okay, first I have to select the application and then I will click on the scan button, or else what you can do, you can double click on this application, automatically it will scan the application. So Tosca commander is smart enough, what it will do, it will going to scan all the component in that page, as you can see. So these are the component we are having in this page. So whatever component are there, it will going to scan all the component. Okay, but what I want, I don't want to include all the component, so I want to go with some specific value. Okay, so I will open my browser and I will open this one, and I will do a select on screen over here. As you can see, select on screen is visible. So I will click on this one and I'm going to select the value. So I want to select automobile, then I want to go for motorcycle. Okay, and if you want to go for a specific value, okay, now I have to select these components. Okay, so I will again click on select. I think some issue is there. Okay, let me reload this page again. No, something happens. Okay, let me close this one. I don't want to, and again I will go with the scan. Okay, so I will going to click on this application, and again same way I will click on the select on screen instead of selecting all the values. So I will click on select on screen. I will click on automobile. Then I will go with motorcycle. Okay, now I have to enter all these values. So I will hover on this one and click on this one. So make drop down is get added. Then I will go with a model one, and then I will select this one. this one, this one, the drop down value, this price, and then annual mileage, and last I'm going to select the next button. Okay, so for my testing I required all these components, so I have added over here. Okay, now what I will do, once you scan these values, so automatically what Tricentis Tosca will do, so I will going to click on the each individual component and see that it is uniquely verified. Okay, so as you can see id is there, so it is uniquely identified over here. So if I unselect this one, so automatically it will get appear in an amber color. As you can see, your element is not uniquely identified, it is showing over here. So make this element unique, what you have to do, you have to select one of the component, so that automatically it will going to uniquely identify your element. So if I go with the inner text, let's see if it is able to make the element unique. No, it is not able to make the element unique. If I go with other values inner text, it is still not able to make the element unique. If I go with the specific value like id, so id is making this element as a unique, so it is now the selected item is unique, it is uniquely identified or verified the element on the web page. Okay, same goes for the next element. So if it is uniquely identified, then only it will be appear in a selected item is a unique way. Okay, any questions on this one? So we will going to see the different scanning technique going ahead. So I'm just showing you using a property. There are different ways we can do the scanning. Okay, if your element is not uniquely identified with all this technical property, so there are other ways as well. I'm going to show you that. Right now I'm just creating a module to show you how to enter the values and all. Okay, so what I will do, I will going to add one more thing over here, like I'm going to add a label over here just to verify that label is present or not. Okay, okay, so once I'm done with the scanning, I have to click on this saved button. As you can see, there is a top button, or using a shortcut you can do that. Press Ctrl S, automatically your module will get saved. So I will click on save, and I will again click on close. Okay, and once I go back to my modules, so my all the modules is getting created over. Okay, so you have to make sure that whatever modules you have created, so their title should be properly created over here. Enter vehicle data, so it will going to verify your page using this tab, the top tab. Okay, if your top tab is not having that particular title, so your module will not going to work. Okay, as you can see, enter vehicle data is there, so by this title only your module will be going to verify your page. Okay, now what I will do, I will close this browser, and my module is getting created. Now I will going to drag and drop it my module under my test case. Okay, so I'm going to drop it, but it is not allowing me to drop the test case. Why? A red icon is appearing over there. I'm not able to drop it over here. Anyone?
Check out.
Sorry?
Check out.
Check-in.
Exactly. So because I don't have exclusive right of this test cases to add my step over here, it is not editable at all. So I have to do a right click and do a checkout. Okay, now the checkout is done. I have to go back to my module section and just drag and drop my module under this. So now the red icon is not appearing over here. So once I drop it over here, automatically it will be added at the last. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to click on this motorcycle folder. Okay, let me first execute my first step. I will going to launch my browser first. Okay, so my browser is launched successfully. Now my second step will be, I have to, as you can see, undefined insurance. So I have to get the insurance of my motorcycle. So I will click on this one. Okay, so once I click on this one, your insurance name will get changed over here. So I will perform motorcycle click and then I'm going to enter all these values. So for that, what I have to do, I will go back and click on this value and I will do a click over here. So once I type this click, automatically it will going to give me the intelligence. Okay, so it will going to click operation and the action mode should be input because I have to click it and we have a different action mode. So going forward, we will going to use all these. Okay, right now just input will be provided and again I have to select the make value. Okay, so I will click on this one and as you can see all the values which are under this one automatically is added in my modules. So I will go with BMW and again uh, as this icon is appearing for a drop down value, so the icon will going to change. Okay, if I select scooter or if I select motorcycle, okay, this is the label. I'm not doing it anything over here. I'm going to enter the cylinder capacity. So this is a text box. So under text box you are not having any value. So you have to enter the value. So you can perform a click, double click, that kind of thing. But if you want to enter some value like okay, I will put it as a 1000 and once I click outside automatically input is getting added. Okay, by default input will get added to this one and same way I will give some value over here and I will give some date format. So I'm hard coding a date over here. Okay, first the month should be there, 04/19 slash uh, 2023. Okay, so again we have a drop down as you can see. So if I click on this one, so all the values from the drop down will get populated over here and list price I will going to enter some like 1 lakh and over here mileage will be uh, annual mileage let me be 1000. Okay, again I have to click on the next button. So I'm not clicking on that right now, so it will navigate to the next page. I just want to verify that it is entering all the value or not. Okay, so I will again run my single module just to make sure that okay it is getting executed properly and it will going to enter all this value. Let me click the automobile and let's see if it is able to click on the motorcycle or not. Okay, it clicked on the motorcycle, and now it will going to enter the value. Okay, so whatever value we have specified over there, all the value is getting entered over here. Okay, now I have to click on the next one. So I will go back to my test case and let this get processed properly. Okay, so if you want to verify the changes, what are the things gets executed, you have to expand this one. Okay, all the test steps are getting passed over here. Okay, now what I will do, I am going to verify this label is present or not. I want to verify this, my label. This is my label. I want to verify that on this page, this label is present or not. Okay, so it's kind of assertion. So what I will do, I will click over here and add inner text over here. As you can see, inner text, and I will add this value over here under the value. So it will going to verify, and the action mode should be verified because I have to do the assertion. Okay, and let's see if I again execute this one, it is able to do that or not. Now my test case get passed, and let's see. Okay, I will going to expand and let's see. Okay, verification was successful. If I expand this one, so actual and expected result, you can see it over here. Expected was this, and actual you are getting this. Okay, what if I made some mistake over here, and let's see if it is, I will going to remove this one and let's see if it is passed or not. It should get failed. Okay, because the expected and the actual result is different.
It's how to check for a checkbox or the radio buttons, or if some light, if we want to validate some light based on the color, this can be done.
Yeah, we can do that as well. Okay, so my test case is get failed over here. Let me see. Okay, so once I expand this one, all these steps are getting passed, but one of my verification is get failed. If I expand this one, expected was this one. Okay, and what we are getting, we are getting this value. So it will going to fail your test cases. Okay, so by this way you can add a verification in your test case. So I'm going to right now remove this one. Okay, just for the sake of showing a different action mode, and I was using this one. Now I have to click on the next so that it should navigate to the next page. Okay, click is added again. Now my scenario, the total scenario is completed over here. I have to run my test case now. Okay, so earlier what we were doing, we were executing a single module. Now I have to open the browser and enter the value. Okay, so I'm going to close this one and execute my whole scenario. So I will run this test case. not a single module. Okay, so I want the browser should be get opened, and then the value should be entered. It has opened my browser, and now it is entering the value over here, and now it will click on next. Now it get navigated to the next page. You can see now it is under the insurance data tab. Okay, now I have to fill all this detail and click on next, so that it will get navigated to third tab. Okay, same way. Any questions up till now? You are not able to understand anything or how it is working? So my both the modules are working fine. Okay, you can check that. Okay, all the steps are getting passed away. Any questions on this one? So this is my test case, and this is my test step. So we will going to stop it over here. Okay, and we will going to uh, see. Okay, I'm going to give you an assignment. What you have to do, you have to open a browser. Okay, the first assignment will be you have to open your browser in a specific browser. Okay, whichever you feel like you are comfortable with, you have installed on your system. Like you can go for Chrome, Firefox, Edge. Okay, I want you to open the whatever you will going to design, that should get open in a Edge browser. That will be my first assignment. And then the second assignment will be you have to open a browser. Okay, and then you can take any sample site whichever you feel like. Okay, so if you want to go with this site, you can play with it, or if you want to go for some other site, you can do that as well. Okay, let me ping this site in the chat section. Okay, so the first assignment will be you have to open a browser in Edge. The second assignment will be you have to open this URL and create a module for the first page. You have to create a module for the first page and try to enter all the values. Okay, and the third thing will be you have to add a verification point. Okay, so I already showed you that you can take any component and do the verification, so that just to make sure that you are on that page or not. Okay, so you can click on automobile, or you can add a verification over here. So for verification, what you can do, you can check it as a visible. Okay, this component is visible, so you can make it as a true. If this element is not visible, so it will going to fail your test cases. So you have to add a verification point over here. Okay, this is your third assignment. So if you want, I can just type your assignment in the chat section. The first one will be open browser in specific browser. Okay, and the second one will be you have to create a module and enter the data in that. And third will be you have to add the verification point in your test case. Okay, please try to do the assignment, that will be helpful for you. Okay, any questions on this one?
Before that, we need to install Tosca.
Yeah, you have to install Tosca, so I'm going to provide you the setup file you can install on your machine. Okay, I will give you the access of the drive, and uh, please make sure that you are get registered with the Anita. Okay, Anita will going to provide you with the SharePoint. So you will get a link, and from there you just have to download that. It will be around 1.2 GB something setup file will be there. Okay, you just have to download it and install it on your machine. Okay,
Okay.
and from the licensing part I'm going to explain you tomorrow. Okay, so because it require a license, and the license setup will we will going to do, and so for that you have to get enroll first. Okay, okay then.